Welcome to Scriptural Snapshots, brought to you by Living Faith Ministries in Kaiser, West Virginia, where we bring the living Word of God into your life. I'm Pastor Gordon Brubaker. We're looking at the Ten Commandments, the work of law in our life. And it's interesting, the fourth commandment says to remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Remember the Sabbath day. Deuteronomy 8:18 says, "And you shall remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant, which he swore to your fathers as it is this day." He says, specifically in Deuteronomy, he says, remember the Lord your God. For we remember it. He is the one who gave us power to get wealth. He is the one who blesses us. He is the one who gives us health. He is the one who gives us good things. He is the one. See, the Sabbath day is to be a day, I believe, of remembrance, where we remember the goodness of God that he has shown toward us in the person of Jesus Christ. You know, the thing is, if we forget, to forget is to not remember. And if we forget the goodness of God, if we forget what God has done for us up to this point, if we forget about how good he has been, well, if you don't know where you came from, you don't know where you're going to, because there's no journey. You just are. And nobody just is. You have a past with you, and we can use that past to our benefit, or to our detriment. We can use it either way, but if you don't know where you came from, you don't know where you are going. You don't know what direction you are. It's just like you woke up and you're in the middle of a field, and it's like, well, was I going north or south or east or west? And it's like, I don't know which way I was going. And if I don't know where I came from, I might just turn around and head back exactly into the ditch that God has brought me out of, because I forgot the goodness of God. So today I want to start doing some remembering, okay? Just to remember some things. It's curious to me that the same people who claim the United States is not built on, founded on the Christian principles, are the same people who wind up attacking the Declaration of Independence as being a religious document. Now get this. There are people that say our Declaration of Independence in the United States is a religious document, and because of it, they want to ban it from schools. They want to ban it from our history because it's not a secular document. It is a religious document, and yet the same people turn around and say that the United States has no Christian influence in it at all. Well, the two are totally contradictory. This is why you need to remember where you came from. See, our Declaration of Independence says some crucial things. It lays out a framework of belief of this nation. And this was when we declared our independence from England. That's what it's about. This is not part of the Constitution, but it is the foundational listing of beliefs of a people who rebelled against England in order to establish the United States of America. And this is what it says. "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men," and that includes women today, men is a universal term back then, "we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed." Now, this has so much in it. It's just such a powerful, powerful statement. It's a statement of faith, a statement of belief. It's stating where we came from and where we are going. Now, where they're coming from is they are stating we believe we were created by God. And this God gave us certain inalienable rights. That means these rights are true. These rights are universal. These rights cannot be dominated by government. It can be opposed by government, but it cannot be dominated by government, because these are the rights that are given to us by our Creator God. And he says where we're going is government ought to protect the rights that God has given to us. And if it does not protect the rights that God has given to us, then it is an unjust power that is influencing our lives. Now think about that. Think about how radical that is. This was written in a time of kings. This was written in a time when democracy was not even a thought, not even a blip in their minds yet. They were just beginning to rediscover the freedoms of the gospel. And they said, God has given us these rights. We've come over here. We've established our communities. We've established laws based on the Bible. And now England is coming and saying, we're going to shut down the churches. That's what they said. We're going to shut down the churches because the churches have an influence on the people, and the churches have now become greater than the government. The faith in God has become greater than the government of England. And so England said, we're going to squash it. We're going to put it down. And the founding fathers said, no, we're going to follow our Creator, because our Creator has endowed us. This is from Him. This is from God, has endowed us with inalienable rights that a just government cannot and should not take away from us. These are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This is a Christian foundational principle. And you see the same thing going on today. The biggest enemy of the state is the church, unless the state aligns itself to protect the liberties that God has given to all people. See, this is the big battle we're in today. This is the big debate that we're in today. Who shall be greater, God or the state? And you say, well, Gordon, I don't think it's that simple. Let me tell you something. It is that simple. You either believe in God or you trust the state. And I think about all the people that say the state is systemically racist. And if that is true, which I don't believe it is true, but if it is true, why do you want the state to have greater power? Wouldn't that just increase the systemic racism? Wouldn't that just increase everything that people are concerned about today? See, the only way you can overcome that power of the state is to have the state start representing and protecting the rights of the people, which come from God. And if you don't worship God, I'll say this in a nutshell, if you don't worship God, then the state must control you by force, and the state then becomes God. I'm Pastor Gordon Brubaker. God bless you.